Hi, I'm JC. Welcome back to another Ceramic Hour live stream that we have going on. Okay, let me just clean this. Just because, like, it is pretty important to keep a clean work surface. I really don't want like dry clay dust and stuff going everywhere into the air. So it's just pretty important. Let me just get some more water on my sponge. It's just like really good to keep that clean. I should definitely be cleaning this more. Yeah. I don't know. I think I've just kind of like have gotten into a little bit of a rut, maybe, from glazing. Sorry, I'm like moving around. From glazing for like literally an entire week, like hours and hours and hours, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like, we need a break. Okay, so we are still working on our mug. This is our slab built mug, so we have a few more adjustments to the thickness of the walls. We need to create a foot on the bottom. I want to carve the like edges of the handle, maybe a tiny bit. Yeah. I always overestimate how much we're gonna do, so I don't know how much of this we're gonna finish. We have just about an hour to work on this because I am on my lunch break. Sorry, let me see if I can... Is there a way I can do this where you can see it? Yes, I'm on my lunch break. So we only have a little bit of time to work. I keep telling myself I need to work on some of the projects that we have over here, like after work and stuff, and that just has not like happened. So distracted. Although yesterday was Halloween, so I don't know. I think that's definitely a good reason to not do anything. We didn't do anything for Halloween, like whatsoever. I thought we were going out, but we didn't. And I was just like, I was like not hungry at all. I was thinking like, I don't know, maybe we would go out, grab some food or something, but I actually went to the office. I went to our office for our work party, and at like 3 o'clock we had snacks, and I really wasn't even that hungry for the snacks, because I had lunch and it was like a really filling lunch and whatever. So we had like snacks, and of course there's candy and lots of candy in the office. What else? Yeah, just kind of like whatever, like snacks, happy hour stuff, all of that. And I got home and I was like, I'm not even gonna make dinner. I was like, I'm not hungry. I have food here. But here in the US, there are a lot of chain restaurants and stuff that will offer either discounts or something free if you dress up for Halloween. For example, Krispy Kreme, if you dress up on Halloween and you come in, they'll give you like a free donut. I'm pretty sure you can pick whichever donut you want, but like that's kind of like the deal. Or Chipotle has like, I think it's $6 burritos. I think that's what I saw last night. They could change year to year, so if you're thinking about doing this, be sure to like check. They're actually like news, like blogs from like, I don't know, USA Today or whatever, like news channels and things that will have like a full list of chains that are participating in some kind of like Halloween type of deal discount thing. And I don't know, it's just like fun to just go out and it's like adult trick-or-treating. If you're getting free stuff, at least the discount's kind of like, I don't know. If you really like it, like I think Sonic had like half off burgers or something. I love like burgers from Sonic, so I would have been into that, but I was not hungry. But that was kind of like something that we were gonna do. Yeah, so we didn't end up doing that. Jason got in his shark costume, and then our cat Sumi was like, oh my god. She's like, there's a shark in the house. And she was just like wide-eyed. So we're like messing with her. Poor cat. She's currently like trying to eat a bag right now. If you can hear that in the background. Hey, can you stop doing that? She looks at me like, what? She loves getting into stuff when I start my stream. I don't know why. It's literally, as soon as I start the stream, she's like, oh boy, it's time. It's that time of the day. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, I think I just want to make these like maybe a little bit like curvier or something. But I don't want to trim like too much off. Yeah, so that's what we did. We just kind of like, we've been watching some Halloween movies. So we watched Halloween Town while we played Project Zomboid. I told you guys we got that game just recently, so we have like no idea how to play it. And it's not even fully released, so they're like still working on it, and it is not intuitive like at all. And it's like, I don't know, I don't think it's just like, oh, like you're new and that's why you don't know how to play. That I feel like the difficulty is like way up. I don't know. I mean, we can go in and change the settings, but like, I don't know. I kind of just feel like we should be able to play on like normal mode or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think I played like, I think the longest I've survived is like maybe 20 minutes. It's not not very long. Sorry, I'm just trying to like get a good angle to carve this at. I wanted to dress Emmy up in her little costume. We did already do that, so like I have some photos and videos of her, my bunny, dressed up. I just thought it'd be cute to have her like run around the couch all dressed up in her little spider costume. But also I was just like so tired. It's like, it's very, I don't know, I'm just gonna chalk it up to like going into the office being like really draining. I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. I don't know, there's just so much going on. You just kind of like I'm not used to it. Like I'm used to being home alone, and I mean, except for the pets. And then like not anything else happening, like no other people are here talking, doing things, you know. And it's just like I don't, you know, like just like being at work, it's very unpredictable. And then like we don't have a separate work building. We have like we have like a space inside a bigger building, and I don't know what the heck, but I'm pretty sure somebody in the office, another another or not department, but like business has like a parrot or something like along those lines, a parakeet or I don't know, whatever. Because there was like this parrot noise like all the time. It was so annoying. So annoying. It wouldn't shut up. And I don't think anybody has any idea like what the heck that is. I think it sounds like a parrot. But it would just like do this kind of like high pitched like whistle noise all the time, like multiple times in the same hour throughout the entire day. And it's just like, oh my god, like every time I go off I'd be like, oh my god. And it's like distraction, like or like at home I'm just sitting here, it's quiet, there's not anything going on. Like sometimes the cat is doing something, but like I can deal with that. But like the office is just like, I don't know, so many things going on. People are coming in and out and whatever, and you're like people are coming in at different points in the day, and then every time someone comes in you're like, oh, who is that? And you like turn around and like so distracting. It's really weird because a lot of like companies think like, oh, you do your best work like in the office. And it's like, no, like I'm so much more productive and focused when I'm at home. I'm so glad that we are not, at least like my position, I'm not required to go into the office ever. I mean, we have parties and stuff, so it's like it's optional, but I don't have to. No one's making me do that. And that's really nice. Because it's like, I can just like, you know, I can just like have a routine down, and I don't know. I have a hard time kind of like focusing and just like getting into like that groove if there are a lot of different things happening. Like my schedule is not the same. Like I'm gonna forget. If there's like a new meeting on my schedule that is not normally there, I'm gonna forget. Like I try really hard to like be really organized and stuff, but like there's so much, there are always like so many things moving and changing, and I just happen to work a little bit better when things are not that different. And just like, I don't know, can just be more focused when things are the same. And there are just so many different things happening at the office. People having different meetings. Everybody's moving around and getting up and doing things and moving to a conference room and like, I don't know. Or sometimes when we go to the office, there's like hammering and banging happening in some other part of the building that we can hear, and it's just so distracting. It's so distracting. Or people are talking and be like, oh, like what do you think about this or whatever, and you're like, okay, let me just divert my focus. Which I really like talking to people, so it's really bad for that. Because I'm like, I obviously would prefer talking to people than just like sitting there like working. So I'm like, okay, gotta gotta go back to focus mode. Anyway, I don't know. The office is just like so draining. Also, I do obviously like have to wake up earlier. I am not a morning person. So my brain is just like, we need to sleep in as much as possible. Like if if I went to bed at 6 p.m., my brain would still be like, we need to sleep in. And like it probably wouldn't want to wake up until 9 or something. I don't know. Like my brain is so ridiculous. It doesn't matter when I go to bed. But I obviously, if I'm getting less sleep than I normally do, it's like even worse. So having to get up even earlier is kind of annoying. Let me see. We got good things happening. Just kind of. So it's kind of hard to tell like how thick the walls are. Obviously, I can see that we've tapered up here at the rim, but I don't think these are really. I think it is pretty thick down here. Just kind of like pinching like this, like down. It's like you can kind of get an idea, but it's kind of hard to really tell though. Let me clean some of these shavings up. Anyway. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to just like work on the foot, maybe. Let's just kind of plan that out. Let me see. My tools. I'm gonna use this little dude here. We're just gonna like draw out a very, let me see, very rough shape, maybe. You know, I should probably do more of the sides. I'm like not 100% sure about the sides here because we like added clay here, so I don't really want to take it off, but I think it's gonna be okay. So I think I'm just gonna we're just gonna trim the sides, maybe like right up here a little bit. And then I think we can kind of see how much we'll need to trim off, like up here. I don't want to like, I don't know, might as well not just like avoid this too much. I hope we don't have like too much of a boring shape going on here. I don't know, like, I don't know how much we can maybe kind of like change this shape here at the bottom. We really do have just the most basic cylinder happening. I don't think that would be too bad, but I think it could be a little more interesting if the whole thing was a little bit curvier. I don't know. I think I would prefer like a curvier mug, but I think I just wanted to be like start off really basic with what we're doing. I've really been struggling with this slab building, so I think I was just like, we're gonna be simple. We're just gonna, you know, try it out, see what is happening. Maybe not. I mean, we're definitely spending a bit of time on this, but I think we would be spending even more time trying to make it curvier. So we're just gonna see how it goes. Because oftentimes my first attempt at anything is not very good at all. Like, all the time. All the time. First attempt is always like terrible. And this is our first slab mug. So I'm not feeling very confident. I feel like right now, I feel like it is going well. But who knows? You never know. Something's gonna... I don't know. It's just how it happens. The first thing that I do in anything is always so terrible. I don't know. I just try to expect it and be like, okay, just know that, be okay with it, and we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving on, and it's going to be fine. Because like a majority of mistakes that you do, like most of the time there's something to learn. Obviously, if you have no idea why it went wrong, you can't really learn from that. And that sometimes happens. And can definitely happen in clay with like troubleshooting things. You might not always know why something happened. But if you have some ideas, you can maybe fix it and do better next time. And sometimes it's not waste. It's not waste when you are just trying something out and it doesn't go how you want to go, because like you're never gonna like, you're never just gonna be like awesome at just everything you do. Like, you're gonna have to learn things, you're gonna have to make mistakes, and it's just what happens. um Sometimes it's hard to like fight certain like um I don't know. I don't, not really, not quite instincts. But it's just like your reaction that's happening. Um I don't know what to call it. Um but like, obviously something goes wrong and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like that went so bad." I really am not happy with what happened. And like, that's okay. Like, that's kind of like how everybody is. Everybody has that just kind of like, I don't know, like gut reaction that's happening. But like, the more that you just kind of like instill in yourself, like, that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Things are always going to happen. And all you can do is figure out what went wrong. And then once you know that, you can try again. And then see how it goes from there. It's kind of like, I think I mentioned this like before. Like, something that my work does in like our yearly review or whatever is like kind of like talking about that in a way of like, in our yearly review we kind of like say things like what are your strengths, like what are things that like are going well, have gone well, and that. And then instead of saying weakness, that's usually what everybody says, strengths versus weaknesses. Instead of saying that word, what you say is opportunities. What are your opportunities? And because that's what they are, that's what weaknesses are. And it's just like framing them in a much better way, a much more positive way, because it's really like, it's really shining a light on the fact that, like, yeah, like, you're not perfect at this. This isn't really where you are excelling, but that's okay. And you can grow. You can improve. You can change this. And I think that is so important for anybody. But I think like working as an artist, a creative, I think that is like really important, like in your practice. I mean, like, everybody deals with that in like anything, but I don't know. I don't know like how to explain. I mean, I think it's just important for everybody, really, to be able to not be discouraged in what you're doing. And like, it's like, I know, like, I'm one of those people, you see the stuff that other people are making, you're like, oh my gosh, that's like amazing. And you're like, I don't know, you're just like, why can't I do that? Why isn't this, working out or whatever? And like, you just have to like, you just have to know that nobody has just been born and then like had all of the knowledge like ever instilled into them. Like yes, some people are just like, they just have a little bit more of an easier time. Just kind of maybe like with processes and stuff. But nobody just knows everything. And for the majority of people, most people have gone through trial and error, just been working on stuff for hours and hours and hours, or years, and whatever. Whatever, like professionals, like people that are working professionally have been, spending so much time in what they do to get there, to get to that point. And you can't beat yourself up for making mistakes, because they've done that too. They've been there. They've made mistakes and have been just working on it longer. So that's my little speech for the day, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people are just like, it's hard to like, it's hard to like kind of talk about a certain amount of like discouragement, because like because sometimes people are just like, oh well, like I'm not like that good at it, so I'm not gonna do it. But like, I don't know, let's just like talk a little bit about that. Like what you want to do with like if you're kind of like exploring like art and different media, what you want to do is like not look at it as like, am I good at it? Because it doesn't matter if you're good at it. It doesn't matter. I've been there. I have been good at a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you like it. It doesn't mean, just because you're good at something does not mean you like the process, that you like making it. And that is what is important. It's like, I've gone like my whole life thinking, oh, I'm good at this, so that's like what I should be doing. But like everything has been like mediocrely like, oh, I'm good at it, and like a mediocre kind of feeling of like, oh, I kind of like doing this, like this is pretty, I think I can do this. Kind of a thing. Let me add some water here. But what you should be doing is just like really taking a look at the process. How much do you like the process? How much do you like doing it? And I definitely get kind of obsessed with like the final outcome more than the process. That's definitely like, that'll get you. That'll definitely get you, because you'll be like, well, I made the thing and it looks so awesome, and then when it does look really awesome, it pulls you in, and you're like, but I love like I love the feeling of like how it looks when it's done. It's awesome. It just feels so good. Like all of these things. And that's definitely the part where it is more complicated. Trying to tell what you like. And I've like I didn't have any art classes when I was in high school. We didn't have an art teacher. So I was just like, I started off with drawing with a pencil, just so basic, drawing a pencil, drawing on printer paper, that, and like I was doing like stuff that was like pretty like hyper realistic, which I think was like good, like really good at the time, like for my age, for like how much like kind of like self-taught learning that I did on my own to like get to that point and whatever. I think it was really good, and like everybody was like, you know, my classmates, like my teachers, like everybody around me was just like, oh my gosh, that's like amazing and stuff. And like that kept pushing me into like continuing to do that. And I really didn't like have anything else to do. Like I had gotten like paint, and I just literally looked at the canvas and like didn't know what to do at all, and I just like was completely stuck, and then like ended up not doing like anything. And painting, like I literally had no idea where to even start, and I don't know. So then I fell back into like the drawing and all of that, because I was like, I don't know, this just seems to be working. And I really liked like the end result. I loved like it being finished, but like after a while I was just like, I don't like doing this. I was just like, I don't like sitting for like hours and hours and hours like working on this thing. Like I don't like the process of it. Like I get really excited and I love how the final outcome looks, and just like sharing that with people, and then just like that kind of like all of the excitement and things that are happening at that point, like when it's done. But I just really did not like really working on it, like being in the middle of it. And it was like, I don't know. I kind of like, I don't know, whatever, like there's like I think a whole story of like the whole thing with like what I started doing in college, but I kind of like somebody was just like, oh, I think you would be like a really good graphic designer or whatever, and then that's what I was like, I was like, okay, I think I could do that. You know, like I think I could do it, like make a living out of that. It seems like it is pretty like self-explanatory. It's really like a lot like regular jobs. You just you know, it's a regular job. You sit in an office and you have projects and whatever. You don't have to go out and find clients or put stuff in a gallery, or I don't know what the heck. I really don't know. Like, I definitely didn't know like how artists like made money. Like how you're supposed to get money, but like graphic designers, you have a regular job, somebody gives you a paycheck for working 40 hours in the office, and it's really that simple. For that side of it, of course, you can freelance and do all of that on your own if you wanted, but you don't have to. And that, and I was like, okay. And then I just like, I really got obsessed with like the fact that you didn't have to be so detailed in the same way that you do with like charcoal drawing. Drawing is like I don't know, at least like the way that I was doing it, and just like trying to make everything like hyper realistic, and like there's so much that goes into every aspect of the drawing. It's like I just kind of like got obsessed with like doing things digitally, and like you can make things perfect. Like you can make a perfect square and perfectly align it to whatever, the text or another square, and the computer just does that for you when you tell it to. And I don't know, I just kind of like got obsessed with that. And like it was like a completely new thing, and I really liked that part. And I don't know, I really liked it. I do really like it still, but there's like, I don't know, just like in my own free time, I don't really care to do that. Like I don't really care to do design stuff in my free time for fun. And I think some people do. I used to do that. I used to have like just like funsy projects that I would put like to add into my portfolio, projects that I created, like somebody else didn't tell me to do it or whatever. Like I used to do that, and I don't know, things have just like changed. And and I don't know, it was really hard for me to tell like what I really liked doing. Because throughout my 4 years in college, so I went for a Bachelor of Fine Arts, and that means I didn't have a minor. Some of my classmates majored in graphic design, but then they minored in maybe marketing, or I don't know, Spanish or something else that is not art. But I didn't do that. I didn't have a minor. And what I did instead was I took more art classes. So I took like quite a variety more. I tried, like, obviously there are things that like I had to do. So like there are certain like amounts of other classes that you have to take. Like you have to take what do they call it now? Like 3D art. I don't know. Different people like call certain things different names. Like my major is actually graphic communications, but what it really means is just graphic design, stuff like that. This one class I took, it was called computer art, which is literally the most vague thing ever. But normally what you do when you got into more sophisticated classes of it is do 3D art. But when you're in the like first level class, it's not that. It's stuff in Photoshop. Anyway, so I tried like 3D art. I took photography classes. I actually really liked painting, so I took a lot of painting classes. Um, like 3 or 4 painting classes. Um, what else did I do? I did printmaking. I did really enjoy that. I did really like that. And that was like a lot of fun. I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of blanking. I never took a ceramics class at my university that I went to, which is like, I don't know, the weirdest thing ever. I just thought, I was like, what am I going to do with that? I was like, I can't apply that in any way to design, which is kind of like what I was thinking of doing, was applying like painting into like design work, or something. I'm thinking of other things. Okay, I can't think of anything else. At the moment, I can't think of any other art classes I took. I think that's like the majority. I took a lot of painting. Oh yeah, I did take illustration. I like illustration, but I did not like the class I took. Yeah. Anyway, I took a bunch of classes. Like, the only ones I didn't take were like ceramics, metal smithing, like, I don't know if we had woodworking. I don't think we did. That's kind of like in the sculpture realm. I don't think they have wood stuff. And then we also had like a branch for like art education. I did take an art education class, but I didn't finish it. I just hated it so much that I left. Well, I really didn't like the teacher that I had. I think if we had a different teacher, I think I would have liked it so much more. Yeah. And yeah, basically like jewelry making, any kind of sculpture thing is like not what I did. But yeah, I tried like quite a variety, and I was just like, I don't know. I was really like dead set on painting plus graphic design, kind of stuff, maybe illustration included, as a way to like differentiate myself as a graphic designer. A lot of people, what they're doing is like combining it with UX UI, and I just am not that kind of person. I like physical things, like printed materials. I like making printed stuff. I don't like making a website or like making an app. I mean, it's kind of fun in certain ways, but like my preference is towards stuff that can be printed. Anyway, so it was actually like when I got my job out of college at another university, after I had graduated and all of that, that we had like tuition free classes that we could take. So I was like, well, I took everything else. What could I possibly take? And I was just like, well, I don't know. I guess maybe I should try a ceramics class. It has always been something that's like kind of been in the back of my mind. One of my older brothers was doing like ceramics for like a period of time, like, but in his free time as like a hobby kind of a thing or whatever. Or maybe it was like, or maybe he was taking like college classes just like as an adult, like with a job kind of a thing. I'm not really sure. But like he would give my mom like pottery things, and I feel like he brought his wheel or something to our house once. He's much older, so like he's never lived at our house. And I don't know, I was just kind of like, about pottery. And actually I did have in our like elementary art class, we did do pottery or like ceramics in elementary school, and I did really like it. In elementary school. So like we didn't have it in middle school or high school, but dang did we have it in elementary school. So it's always kind of been in the back of my mind, like I don't know. I feel like that should have been like a bigger hint to me. And like once I took that class at that university, I was just like obsessed, like so obsessed with learning everything. Like I had so many questions because jumping into ceramics from no knowledge of it there's a lot. There are so many things. You're just like, how does this work? How does that work? Like, what are these things? What does that mean when you're doing this or whatever? Like, there's so many things. It's unlike any other art medium in that it is like chemical reactions happening. Like, you cannot mix glazes. Like, you cannot mix like glazes like how you would mix paint. It doesn't work like that. It like chemical things are happening, whereas if you're mixing paint, chemical things are not happening. Like visual things are happening. But when you mix glazes, like if you have like, let's say a yellow glaze and then a blue glaze, if you mix those, you're not gonna get green unless that glaze is specifically made to be mixed. Like that company made it to do that, and you have the two in that specific line that are meant to be mixed. Unless that is happening. Unless that's happening, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get some like you know, the same kind of color mixing things happening. You can with underglazes. Underglazes are different. But normal glazes, like you can't do that, and it's a mystery. There are mysterious chemistry things happening. If I knew more about chemistry, I think my knowledge would be different. I am not a chemistry person. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you could learn the chemistry of ceramics. There is like nothing as far as I can find that will describe these types of things to you in a book. I have looked because it has piqued my interest, and I'm like, I would like to know more about what's happening. And for the most part, it's just lay people writing books. They don't know what is happening chemically, and they don't include that in their book. As far as I've found, like, I need something that describes it from like square one, assuming you know nothing about chemistry going into this. Like you don't have to know chemistry to do things in ceramics, but I think it helps explain some of the things that are happening. And I think it's a little interesting. I don't know. It's piqued my interest. And I like, if I could find something that is digestible, I am not very I'm not really a reader. I'm not very good at sitting down and reading books. Um, they make me tired and they bore me. But if it was like digestible and it was just, like really well written and somebody could just explain in just very clearly things, that'd be like so cool. Some things are explained um, in different places that are kind of important. Things like whatever, reduction firing versus oxidation firing. That is like a chemical thing that's happening, and you can find a very simple explanation of that on YouTube. It probably is in a book. But that, and then the glazed stuff is all chemistry. Okay, I'm really like off topic. Anyway, um, anyway, I was just like, I don't know. I really encourage everybody out there to experiment, try new things. Of course, it can be very costly to try out different art media, but like if you're able to and you're willing to, and that's just, for me, that has been like my hobby. That's my thing to do. Some people, their thing to do is golfing, and they spend, whatever, a lot of money on golf clubs, or I don't know. I guess you have to like pay to go to a golf course or whatever. Like that's what they spend their money doing. I have always been spending my hobby money on like trying new things, trying new media, just like doing art stuff. So if you can or whatever, like I would encourage you to explore in those things that have been in the back of your mind like all the time, like years and years. You've had it in the back of your mind. You've always been like, I should try that, like that kind of thing. Like if you can, of course there are so many things on the internet to kind of like show you if you're doing it at home. Bigger cities might have art classes that you can take. Sometimes you can know if you're gonna like it based off certain aspects of it, and just knowing yourself. Of course, there are a lot of different things that you can do to manipulate a medium to work with you, and you don't always have to do that stereotype. The stereotype, I would say, with ceramics is like, ooh, you're just doing whatever. You're just jumping in and you're working off the cuff, just whatever. But you can also do ceramics in a very planned, organized, precise way, doing things geometrically, and that, like, you can have like both of those types of working methods like in this medium. So you kind of have to open your mind a little bit if you're exploring. But like, I don't know, if you don't like the feel of it, like ceramics is obviously, gotta be touching the stuff all the time, and if that just like grosses you to your core, maybe it's not the right thing for you. Or I don't know, if you just, like me, I know I don't like, I don't want to be precise. I used to really like that. I don't like it anymore. I don't want to have to be perfect with it. I want to be able to play and just do my own thing. I don't want rules holding me back. Photography, I feel like, is holding me back with their rules, with aperture and ISO, and that makes photography not for me, and I know that, because I know myself, and I don't know, different things. Know yourself, be aware of the things that you like and you do not like. Anything that includes steps where you're like, no, I am not going to feel like doing that. Something, for example, I have been like, I love seeing the stuff people are making out of resin, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But just by watching videos, you might not know it, but if you are working with resin, you have to wear a respirator. And I'm like, no. I'm just like, no, I wouldn't want to have to wear a respirator every time I sit down to make stuff. Of course, you have to wear a respirator in ceramics, but it's not all the time. It's not every single time you sit down to make something. So it's just kind of like that checklist. Just kind of like maybe look into the process and what is needed, what's convenient for you, what works with you, what works with your schedule. Do you have to go somewhere to do it? I mean, I don't think that should stop you. I mean, it could physically stop you. If you're like, I want to forge knives and you don't have access to a forgery or something, that can literally stop you. But I encourage you to explore as much as you can, to have an open mind, but then also maybe just know yourself, know you how you like to work, and be like, I don't want to have to do this. And if there's no workaround in that medium for you, because like obviously like the respirator thing, you can't get around that. There is no getting around it. Like, you have to wear it when you do it. You know, like, but some things are a lot more flexible than that. Anyway, I really have to go, but I hope this like inspires you, like this whole talk today. I hope you guys are motivated to be like, yeah, I have been thinking about this thing for years. It's always been on my mind. I encourage you to look into it and try it out if you can. Whatever works for you. Maybe you have to save a little bit of money up to try it out, but I don't know. Just, go at it. If you can, I hope you can. Let me know if there's anything that's that has been your experience where you've been like, yeah, I've had this thing in the back of my mind for forever and I finally got to do it. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know your stories. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Doesn't have to be ceramic related. Doesn't have to be art related. But if you want to share, that'd be so cool. Okay, we're a few minutes over time, and I have to go back to work. But if you are joining in from Twitch, hello. We are back. I've not figured out if I'm gonna be online tomorrow or not. If I am, it's not gonna be at the scheduled time. If I am, it's gonna be moved, because I have a doctor appointment tomorrow at basically 1. So I'm gonna post like some kind of announcement. I don't know. I think I might just have to cancel it. Maybe we'll see. Kind of like maybe how I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. But we will be here doing something on Friday. I promise. 2 days from now. Yeah. So follow along if you want to be sure to be notified when we're online. And then all of these videos for the Ceramic Hour are uploaded to YouTube at Callie & Co. Into the Ceramic Hour playlist. There's a full playlist there of like more than 50 other videos for you to watch of ceramic hours. And more than that, I have a couple other rando videos that I've made in the past and stuff. I also have some recently made ceramic tutorials if you're interested. And then like the random ones are kind of like art related, or maybe like kind of small business, handmade business related. So be sure to subscribe and check out the YouTube for more. And yeah, I will see you guys later. All right, bye.